But decided that's what some men don't.
Yeah.
Good morning, deep water chosen family.
Okay, appreciate
I'll
it.
just drag both of them.
We'll go ahead and pray us in this morning. Don't fall in the pool. I wasn't falling. Andy was helping. You go in the pool, I think probably everybody will fall.
You're gonna follow you, yeah.
Baptism this morning.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this gorgeous morning. Lord, we thank you for shining down on us today. We thank you for your presence. Lord, we are just so thankful and grateful to you for the things that you've been doing. Even with the mess going on in this world, Lord, that you are keeping our hearts settled and peaceful, and that you are coming into all of the things that are going on into our lives, and that you're intervening into those things, that we willfully let you in and intervene into those things, Lord, and you show us. You're showing us the way, Father. We bind the madness that's going on, the madness and the chaos that's going on in the world. We bind that under your blood, Lord, so that people's minds and people's hearts can be changed to follow what is in your heart and what is in your mind, and to live out your ways, and to love other people and not to hate. To love other people how you love people. And Lord, we want more of that. We need more of that for ourselves. We need more of that towards other people. So Lord, just rain down on us today. Let that living water that is already in us flow to us this morning and every day. But come on in this morning, Father, and show us things that you've never shown us before. Show us your light, show us your peace, show us your ways. Give us revelation. Give us healing, give us deliverance. All those things that we need, Lord. We lay everything down at your feet right now. All of our burdens, all of our cares, they go to you. Any of our energy is going to go to worshiping you and praising you in your holy name this morning. And we thank you and we praise you. We thank you for our pastor and his family. We thank you for this congregation of brothers and sisters who is insistent upon following you and seeking your face. I thank you that we are seeking your face, Father. Give us more and more diligence and perseverance towards that, and show us the way. Holy Spirit, come into this place. Come into this place, inside of each one of us. Reign over our hearts and over our minds and over our souls. We thank you that we are covered by the blood of Jesus. And I cover each and every person today, here and who's not here from the body of Christ. I cover them with the blood of Jesus, with his protection and his provision. And we thank you and praise you because you are a good, good Father. In Jesus' holy and mighty name we pray. Amen. So guys, I want to hear about, before we get started today, there's got to be some wonderful things that are going on in people's lives. And I want to hear about that today. So if you have had some God things going on in your lives, why don't we just take a minute to speak about those and to encourage everybody who's in this place. I know I've got something to talk about, but I don't want to be talking all the time. I want to hear from all you guys. I want to know what's going on in your lives. I want to know how God is working in your lives. Does anybody have anything that they want to share with the group? There's some big smiles out there, so if you got something that big that you're smiling, let's hear it, guys.
So we've been completing some construction stuff, and I watched the dog the other part. You know, just decided that we were going to kind of start our own thing, and he has a job here, another job here. We came to church, we finally got, come to worship, and kind of lined
son died yesterday. I have what you call a wayward son that, you know, I mean, to make a long story short, he's been living in the streets, kind of wandering around. But do you know that he lives in Louisiana, and just out of the blue, he felt the need to drive 12 hours to come see his mama. He came, he bought T-bone steaks, he served everybody, and he brought his Louisiana friends, which, you know, over there, you know how that is over there in that area. But yet, it was amazing because God let me see beyond the things they practice and the things that I just felt nothing but love for them. And they only stayed just one day, but it was a glorious day, and it was a message to me that, you know, whoever is in your life that, you know, looks like a hopeless case, because my son looked like a hopeless case. I mean, today is the beginning of new beginnings. Today is the day of restoration for my family, and, you know, I got to love on my son, and I got to just be his mom. And that to me was a powerful thing. There was no judgment. The people that came with him got just as much love as he got. So I think that in itself is a testimony.
Amen. That was right along with all the wreaths. And when I saw your post, and I prayed about that.
Thank you for everybody that prayed. Thank you.
Yeah. Restoration, guys. This is a year of restoration, renewal, and everything.
T.
In 15 more work days, David retires. The man has worked since he was 14 years old. I covet your prayers because he doesn't know what to do. I said, for a little while, your honey-do list is as long as your own. We've been married 21 years and have never been able to take off more than 3 or 4 days at a time. But it's coming up, and God has put together for us to go on a vacation in July where we're going to be gone, just he and I, for 2 weeks. But I am excited to see what God's doing in David's life and in our life, and the choices we're getting to make, what to do next. But what I really wanted to say, our roof has several leaks in it. It has had for the 20 years we've lived there. But I said, David, before you retire, we have got to get this roof fixed. Been saying that for 5 years. Last week he got a bid on it. But the part that's hard is the front part of our house has asbestos shingles on it. Asbestos has to have hazmat come in and take all this off. They did all of that in the bid, and all we have to do is pay our deductible. So they're hauling all of that asbestos off at no extra cost to us, which we didn't want to pay because that's coming out of my vacation money. But y'all just be praying. He wasn't feeling well this morning. That's what Devil's trying to do, is he's giving up smoking. He said the day he retires, he had promised Alyssa, wherever Alyssa is, he'd quit smoking. So the devil's really getting him on this. So we just covet your prayers because we're starting something new.
Absolutely.
It's all those new things you and I were talking about a couple of weeks ago. All those isn't it wonderful that we're seeing how those renew, replace, refix, whatever it is,
That's right.
restore,
Yep.
are coming into play.
Yep. Woo! I love that.
Yeah.
So wow, that is fantastic. What you got?
My brother retired from the Navy. He was a submariner. He retired from the Navy at about a month. My brother's retired from the Navy. In about a month, he's a submariner. Did you hear what I said?
That her brother retired from the
got a read last week too, because I got to go on vacation. We got to go to Port Aransas, and it was just awesome because of the ocean. And I haven't been to the ocean in a long time, and it was just refreshing. Relaxing. And then when we came back, I got to go to that place in Kerrville where the cross is.
Oh.
And I love that place. It's like when you walk down it's like it's built in a cross, y'all know, and then there's scriptures all along the way, and you just follow the Lord, and then when you get in that cross, the presence of the Lord is in that cross so strong. And it was just awesome. I want to go back there. So but anyway, I got to read too, so recharge.
Renewed and recharged and all of that. It is an awesome place. If you guys haven't been to that cross in Kerrville, the presence of the Lord is there, and it is an amazing place. Yeah, it really is.
I'm gonna say something real quick. I hope Eddie doesn't get mad at me, but I feel like I really need to say this. Whoever doesn't know Eddie, he's pretty much done Copenhagen his whole life. He started at the age of 13. He quit for about 3 years and then he went back to it. So 30 some odd years he's done nicotine. And just recently the Lord put on his heart that he needed to quit. So cold turkey, he went from no Copenhagen to patches. And he's on his last step of patches, and he's not had Copenhagen in over a month and a half.
Awesome.
Don't you look at her like that. Good job, mate. That's right. See, there's all kinds of good things going on, guys, and I wanted everybody to see that because you got one?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
His daughter graduated this coming, but for her to graduate, there was a lot of turmoil and family and here and there. But you know how there's always turmoil before, and we got her all going, and somehow he was able to see his daughter, walk that stage.
That is great.
Actual
That
stage.
is.
Yeah, without mask or having to wait in the car or any of that. So,
Well, because a lot of people didn't. They didn't get to walk that stage, and it's a big deal for people that age. I remember how big it. I remember way back when that was a big deal for me. Does anybody have anything else? No? I just wanted you guys to be encouraged this morning. You know, it's easy to get down and out and disappointed and to the point of where, oh man, you know. But there's so much good going on. There's so much good going on. The Lord is working behind the scenes. He's working with people. He was teaching me this week. I learned some things at work, and I learned some things this week. I learned from young people. I learned from old people. And I just want to I want to praise the Lord that we as Christians, we are always willing to have a teachable spirit. We always need to be able to have a teachable spirit. No matter how much we think we know or that type of thing. I was working in the yard yesterday. Bruce and I have been doing a lot of work in the yard. Bruce likes to go off to the store and do the shopping for all this stuff and everything. I like to stay at the house and do work in the yard. So I was doing some work in the yard, and I'm used to doing things. I can do some good manual labor, but not like I used to. You know, you get a little bit older and your back hurts a little bit more. So I was working in the yard, and there was a pile of dirt way over here, and there were some holes over here that I needed to fill, and it was like, oh man, I gotta take that dirt and put it way over here. So I was gonna do it my way. I was gonna take the dirt and I was gonna just put it in the wheelbarrow, shove it in the wheelbarrow, bring it over here, shove it out the road, and I had done that earlier in the week, and my back hurt and everything. Long story short, the Lord gave me instructions of no, Lisa, you've got holes over here, but you've got piles over here, you've got piles over here. You don't bring that pile over here to bring those up to these piles. You need to do something with those piles there, right then there, and fill in these holes here. And so it was like, yeah, okay, you know, and then it was like, okay, well, how am I going to do that? Well, we have different kinds of rakes and that type of thing. We got a big rake with big tines, and we got a longer rake that has just the floppy tines. You guys probably all know what this is called, but I don't. 2 different styles of rakes, and he was showing me how to do that. You got to loosen this hard dirt over here and pull it over here. But in the end, it ended up being much better, obviously, than doing it my own way, because he told me along the way, use this rake to do this and scrape this up over here and bring and the hard labor and everything that on my body and everything, it was like, Lord, thank you so much for this. And this may seem silly to you guys. This may seem really totally silly, but he was teaching me as we were going. And I was able to listen to him because the things inside of me, like I was telling you last week, anger used to really just overtake me. I would get angry about things and I would have just, by my own force, I'm going to do this, type of thing. And I was listening to him and it was so much easier. Oh, I can't tell you how much easier it was. And it's just like sometimes we get into these ruts where we're used to doing things one way, doing things the same way all the time. And sometimes we just need to just buckle down and just listen. And when I listened this week, when I listened at work to people, when you take people's input in, you can work things out better for the whole group. I listened to my husband. I learned so many things from my husband this week. We had wonderful people. Thank you, Matt and Sven, for coming over and doing cement work at our house. I learned a lot of things about cement work. I'm learning about electricity, those types of things. And if I wasn't willing to listen, I wouldn't be learning all of these things. Okay? So, I got a scripture to go with that. In Proverbs 26:12, it says, "Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him." So if we think sometimes that we're doing things the right way, and if our attitudes towards other people are such that I'm always right and they're always wrong, and you don't see any other perspective but your own, you need to go to Proverbs 26:12 and read this, because that's what it's talking about. This is talking about the wisdom of the Lord, but there's also the wisdom of other people who are around you, and we've got to listen to that. We've got to have a teachable spirit. We've got to listen to that and have our minds and our hearts open to that, because otherwise we're going to miss some things. Otherwise we're going to miss some opportunities to learn. We're going to miss some opportunities to grow. And that's what it's all about. It's opportunities to grow. Okay? And I was even reading about that a little bit, and I thought this summed it up pretty well. Do you see a man who is wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. It's true, because pride puts a person beyond the perceived need for instruction. The proud man says to himself, I don't need the wisdom of God's word. I've already got it. I don't need the instruction and encouragement of others. I'm beyond that sort of thing. I don't need to be held accountable for my actions. Who are they to tell me what to do or what not to do? The proud heart is impervious to rebuke, and it's sensitive to conviction. That's why he's more hopeless than a fool. And let that sink down in, guys. Me, in my stubbornness for many years, I didn't listen to a lot of people for things. And there was, if you're going to do it this way, you're going to do it my way, But you know what? There's always different ways to get to the different end. And different people have different ideas. And we've got to be open also to we all have weaknesses. We have to be open to the weaknesses of others. And we have to have a forgiving and a loving heart towards others. We don't want to give that heart that is my way is the right way, or this person doesn't know what they're thinking about. We've got to think intentionally that way, so that we can open ourselves up to growing and to opening our heart to what other people are thinking. And of course, it's got to line up with the scripture and that type of thing. But I think it's just really important for this day and age. We've got to be open to those types of things. So we will do our tithes here in a minute. If you want to do communion during worship and everything, the communion is right over here. The tithe bucket is here. You can put your tithes in there after I'll do the tithe blessing here. We have got Cheryl or Cheryl. Cheryl is taking the kids today after worship. She's going to take 6 and up into the house. And then the youngsters are going to sit over here. The younger ones are going to sit over here with Carrie. And they're going to be doing coloring and those types of things. Okay? We just want everybody to know that. Megan, is there anything else? Does anybody have anything left there?
There's a possibility that we'll be back in school in July. We got an email. We haven't heard when in July, but there's a possibility they'll be letting us back in July. So y'all keep that in prayer that it works out and we can get back in there.
Woo-hoo. That's good news. That is great news. Anybody have their tithes this morning, tithes or offerings and that type of thing? Go ahead and raise those up, and I'm going to say the blessing over it. I proclaim financial increase upon you and your house. I call in jobs for those of you who are unemployed. I call in better jobs for those of you who desire and need them. I bless you for a breakthrough where what has been clogged up and restricted will begin to normally flow again. Because of your obedience in his tithes and offerings, I declare God's favor to be upon you so that those things that have been tied up in courts, such as inheritances, settlements, and estates, be released so that you may enjoy what God means to be rightfully yours. God has stated that he wishes you to prosper. Therefore, I speak a blessing to come upon those of you who work in sales and commissions, that deals and opportunities be attracted to you, and that God prosper you in an extraordinary way. I speak over this giving congregation that opportunities for advancement will come to you. I also call for the raises and bonuses as needed. I call back to your residences, wallets, and bank accounts that Satan attempted to steal from you, as with Job in the Bible. I speak that you be restored double, that what was lost or stolen. Because the Lord rejoices over his children, and he delights to see us happy and blessed, the Lord will cause you to find money unexpectedly. He will bless you and surprise you with unexpected checks in the mail right out of nowhere. For those of you that God has blessed as entrepreneurs, may your mind be inspired with God ideas and inventions so that you may prosper. For those of you who own your own businesses, blessings be so abundant that your company can bless its employees with good pay and package benefits. I speak a spirit of abundance upon this congregation, that God miraculously bring you out of debt, so that the stress of debt and the burden of debt will release your minds, and that you may come into a new peace and a new reality of financial freedom, so that you and your house may serve God in newness and joy. May you and your house begin to enjoy plenty, so that you may give liberally and generously in offerings as well as alms to the poor. I bless you in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.